all the teams, get all of our notes together, and get ready for this race. So once they drop the green flag, all we do is watch and wait.
And as a driver, you want to win at those racetracks.
43 cars,
there's the race,
143,000
there's the playoffs.
Talladega, and of course, a
for somebody like Michael McDowell on the right-hand side, sitting on the pole, in the lumps, Front Row Motorsports Ford, it's all about winning this race. He's a Daytona 500 winner. He wants to be a Talladega winner. He's come close before. Let's get ready to go. Time to bring the action. You betcha. The action like nowhere else, and a track like nowhere else. This is Talladega. This is the YellaWood 500. Let's go. McDowell's got his teammate Todd Gilliland right behind, giving him a nice push. Cedric on the high side. The front row guys are working well together, straight from the drop of the green.
Some of these cars you can see obviously got a better start, depending on how they're geared, than some of these other guys, but here they'll start fanning out. Going 3 and 4 wide.
Going to see Kurt Busch on the outside. I'm sorry, it's Ricky Rudd. Right. Ricky Rudd on the outside, pole center, and look at Scott Riggs going to the high side. 3 wide, 2, 3, and 4.
He's a rookie. Riggs is in that 10 car on the left-hand side of your screen. He's got to lead.
4 wide back there. About the middle of the pack.
You can already see toward the back of the pack.
Off of 4.
The drivers are trying to make that outside line work 3 wide.
Through the tri-oval, then coming toward the start-finish line right there.
Was one of those. He's up on that third lane.
Be so precise right now, especially these
saw a
guys
good shot earlier of Joey Logano. This is Daniel Suarez having to serve a drive-through, a pass-through penalty, unapproved changes to the car, specifically the roof, and this is going to hurt. It's going to hurt. The 99 won't go a lap down because of this, but now he'll be by himself on the racetrack. The pack, the draft, the air of all these cars much faster than the 99 by itself. Daniel Hemrick jumped up to lead that outside line. He saw the teammates, the Roush teammates, the 6 and the 17, Keselowski and Buescher. He wanted to be in front of those to lead it. Big push right here from Keselowski. BuildSubmarine.com camera giving us great shots.
Would be the best line because
it was the best qualifying of the year for Daniel Hemrick. You see him up ahead.
In the middle, but that will change.
And now it's 4 wide. Keselowski found himself in the middle, and he's still there in the middle. 4 wide into 1. Yeah, that was an aggressive move.
Andy Hamlin wanted to lead that pack. Talk to Tony Stewart about who to follow. Stewart said the guy who won the last
Keselowski took it.
Right now,
I think Danny thought that 3 wide would be the max this early. Brad, different opinion, and now the 11. After a top 10 qualifying effort will fall to the back. You wonder if this will change the mindset. The guy behind the wheel, does he go into conserve mode, trying to stay back there, or does he dig his heels in and try to fight back to the front? You know, that's a great point, Steve, because in Atlanta earlier in the year, a few weeks ago actually, a drafting-style racetrack like this, he decided to ride around in the back, and it didn't work. And he talked about being aggressive this race. As soon as he got aggressive, it didn't work out. And now he's at the back, so how does he respond?
Tell me someone's there. You
see that bright yellow car, Michael McDowell's leading the pack. He's going to continue to change lanes, trying to pick up that hill. You can see it from overhead, although he's very patient around the bottom. I think we expected him to kind of move up and pick up the top lane. There you go, the lane change. Pick up those RFK teammates, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher. Ford's working well together. Ryan Preece, the 4th one in line in that Wonder Bread car. The inside lane is not
looking in the mirror, looking
together at all. Look at the gap in between the cars on the inside line versus how much tighter they are on the middle and the outside. That makes it much less efficient. Lose speed with gap. Air is so violent around these race cars. If something catches your eye, it could be the flaps on the hood. As we ride on board with Joey Logano with Coca-Cola onboard camera, you've gone down the interstate, rolled down just one window, and you hear that air buffing around inside the car. Now imagine 3 times the speed, 3 times the air pressure. That pressure can get under the hood. You see those flaps start to open. Oh, this catches my attention. So you're in there on the left side of the 8. Kyle Busch, the hood flap, flying open. Busch with a great qualifying yesterday, and his RCR teammate Austin Dillon. Both in the top 10. They went to the 2nd round of qualifying. Gilliland's on that low inside line. He's got Logano right behind him.
Turn 3 yesterday. And yes, the 30 car, yes, folks.
4 Fords working the top line.
At 109
Michael McDowell leads that pack. The Toyota onboard. Tyler Reddick
You'll see a lot of that at this race.
Last week in Kansas did not work out the way that the 2311 driver, the regular season champ, won it.
You can turn a guy around real easy.
Won this race in the spring. Looking for a repeat performance to make up for that race you mentioned, that Kansas performance. Subpar for Reddick.
has extra bars in the rear of it and extra bars in the front of it.
There are more bars in place in the 42 car than they have in a Bristol car. Find a place to get to the middle.
And they will push other cars during the day.
If there's nowhere to go, Steve, then it'll keep some energy on that inside lane. But if they start getting out of it, it'll absolutely destroy it. Steve, something that I know that, you know, annoys you in a way is when people say it could be anybody. Anybody could win this race. And you say, well, what about the guys who are really skillful at it, who really work their craft at it? I asked Michael McDowell, the race leader, this morning, as a kid who grew up racing open-wheel cars on road courses, how have you become so good at super speedways? He said, because when I first started doing it, I hated it. Going 3 and 4 wide just didn't feel natural to me. So I went back and I studied those guys who were good at it. He said, because I don't believe that anybody can win either. So I made myself get good at it. Everyone has the opportunity to win, and the results are nearly impossible to predict. But don't confuse that with the lack of talent it requires. These are the most talented stock car drivers in the world. And in this discipline, specifically here, there are a few that absolutely stand out.
See the 48 car, Jimmy Johnson.
Doug Burns, what you got?
Lee, we saw that early shuffle that took Denny Hamlin from an 8th place starting spot to the very back of the pack. There he is now, riding around in the back, and it makes you wonder if the driver thought this was okay, if this was something that he did or didn't intend to do, if he was just dropping back on his own. Here's what he had to say.
This car will grasp very well, but the one thing it cannot do...
Succinctly, that sucked. He didn't necessarily want that to happen, but now Jeff, he's just got to deal with it and race from there.
Well, the problem, Dave, is that dealing with it's very difficult because it's 3 wide. Where are you going? Where are you going to go? Right, so how are you going to gain this track position back? There's plenty of time in this race between pit strategies, between cautions, and all these types of things. Denny can get his track position back. But it's not like he's just going to drive up there and just get to the front. Where are you going to go? And that's where you get frustrated as a driver. You start pushing the issue, trying to make something happen. Because the only way you can get going is to get your line moving forward. You've got to do your job to move your line, and that's just by good pushing.
You want to make a job for the driver even more challenging than 3 wide at 190 plus miles an hour? The first stage, 60 laps. These cars can run 40 to 45 laps on fuel. They'll all require a trip down pit road with the crew chiefs. Ask themselves, how can we help my driver with this problem of if we need less gas, we'll be on pit road less. So now I want you to be out here racing 190 plus, and oh, by the way, try to save some fuel along the way. Some are better than that than others. So many games being played throughout the pack.
Just going back to the Denny Hamlin point, Jim, to underscore that. He said Dave mentioned, he's going to make up the positions. He's down 29 places from where he started. So some work to do for the 11. It's the front row motorsport Fords out in front along with the RFK Racing Fords. The Blue Oval boys at the moment.
He felt like he blocked him when he came out of the 5th one time and impeded his progress, and he was very high.
Dick, you're looking ice cold.
You look ice cold, bro.
Guys, somebody's coming. Let's do it.
Everybody wants to win.
We're going to break away. If anything happens, we'll, as always, break right back in. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads at Talladega.